In this video, we'll be verifying another trig identity. If you've not already done so, press pause to read over these notes and the hints for verifying identities. When you're ready to continue, press play. The example that we'll be working with is tangent squared s divided by secant squared s is equal to the product of the quantity 1 plus cosine s times 1 minus cosine s. Now again, there are often different approaches to verifying these, but since it is an identity and we're just verifying that, we do know that these two sides are equal to each other. We just need to take one of the sides and use our fundamental identities to rewrite it so that it looks like the other side. I think that I'm going to work on this left side, and I think the approach that I'm going to take this time is to rewrite everything in terms of sine and cosine. So I'm going to separate first the numerator and the denominator. So my tangent squared s, I can write over 1, and then my secant squared s is in the denominator, so that'll need to be 1 over secant squared s. Now, tangent squared can be written as sine squared over cosine squared. 1 over secant squared is the same as cosine squared. And we can see that we have a factor in the numerator and a factor in the denominator that are the same. So we can cancel those. That's equal to 1. And so I have sine squared s. And I know from my Pythagorean identity, sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. I know that sine squared theta is the same as 1 minus cosine squared theta. So I'm going to rewrite sine squared theta, or sine squared s, as 1 minus cosine squared s. And then this is the difference of two squares, so I know that it factors. And I have 1 plus the cosine of s and 1 minus the cosine of s. And that's equal to the right-hand side, which was 1 plus cosine of s times 1 minus cosine of s.